welcome to Meet the Candidate, sponsored by RHA. My name is Marissa Upton, and I'm the Vice President of RHA and the person who's been in charge of this event. We're going to have about 10 minutes for Connor Schulte and Hayden McKelvey to talk about their campaign. Then we'll spend about 5 to 10 minutes on some predetermined questions, and we will end with any questions that those here might have. So without further ado, Connor and Hayden.
Well, first of all, thanks for having us and having this forum for us to talk to you guys, and thanks for being here. Like she said, my name is Connor Schulte.
I'm Hayden McKelvey.
And we are running for Student Body President and Vice President. Just to give you a little background, this is my third year in student government currently right now as a senator, and so it's something that I've been really involved in throughout my time at UNK. I've spent a lot of my time in it. I've become really passionate about it. I'm also involved in a lot of other organizations, but this is something that I really have put my stock into, so that's kind of why I decided to run for Student Body President.
Right. My experience prior to, I've been on student government for a little over a semester now, and I've really enjoyed the experience. Prior to that, I'm currently the president of the Industrial Distribution Organization, vice president of Cornerstone UNK, which is kind of a stem off of student government. I was vice president of one of the fraternities here on campus. So I've got a good amount of leadership skills that I've been able to develop over the course of my college career here as a junior. So I bring that to the table, and so I've seen a lot of good ways of reaching goals and getting things done, and I've seen some not so good ways of doing it. So just being able to bring that into play as Connor and I head into the presidency and vice presidency is going to be great. I think we complement each other very well as far as our skill sets go. So I guess to kind of kick it off right into our platform and some of our initiatives, I'll touch on one that I think is very, very important out of all of them. We want to, in the fall, we want to do a big kickoff event, and we want to central it around the Play It Forward initiative. And so what we'll do with that is obviously you donate a lightly used sporting equipment item of some kind, and what that is, that's like your entry fee into what this event would be. And so it's just going to be a great opportunity for our students to come together, get behind a great cause, do some community outreach in the fall. It'll have like some fun events throughout the day out in front of the Union in the green space. So we're really looking forward to getting that going right in the fall.
Just a little background information on Play It Forward. That was an initiative brought by Cam Dieter and Brock Drudick a few years back, and we were the first college campus to adopt it, but we never really got it to go anywhere, in a year's time. So it might take some time to make it a big event. That's why we're kind of pushing like a big event for it to make it a good
Absolutely.
Yeah, to make it a good program.
Yeah. So that's one thing we're looking to do. Another thing, we're looking to collaborate with the city of Kearney on some different projects. I mean, a prime example would be the Play It Forward. If we could get the community, get behind it. Just things that really tie the university and the community of Kearney together. It plays such a pivotal role. Being from Kearney for the last 20 years, I've been firsthand to that. The university is really, it's a huge asset for the city, and so we really want to continue to build that relationship and strengthen it throughout our tenure in office. So another thing is, I touched on it with the Play It Forward, but we really want to, push transparency within student government and getting student leaders to interact out with the student body, reaching out to different organizations, doing different collaborations, using the TV to advertise, using social media, really making big pushes in those areas that are really going to allow students to see and get involved with what student government has to offer, as well as, just, bringing the university out even more than we currently have planned. So those are just a few. I'll turn it over to Connor to touch on some additional ones.
Chats with the Chancellor has been something that student government has put on for years, and so we're going to continue with that, but we want to push with more advertising, get more students to come, maybe have some faculty come as well, and maybe reach out to them and see if they would provide students extra credit if they would come, just to make it more of a bigger event when we do have it, because it's awesome because you get to listen to the Chancellor, which you don't always have the opportunity to do. So that's a good event. And something else we want to start up, we don't have a name for it yet, but it's essentially the same thing, but it's with the senators, because as being a senator for the past 3 years, it's hard for us to get into touch with our constituents and the people that we serve under. So if we have sort of a forum like Chats with the Senators, or a more clever name, we're still coming up with it, but if we have that forum for you to come and talk to us and say, hey, this is something that I think you guys should do, this is what I want to see happen, we think that that would be good. It might take a little time to get people to come, but that's something that we think could be really beneficial in the long run. Another thing that we want to do is we really want to collaborate one-on-one with student organizations. We want to help student organizations promote their individual events, and also we want to check in with them on a regular basis and, you know, just tell them, hey, this is what student government is working on, just so you're aware, and then ask them, what do you need from us? What can we do for you? And then to go off of that, a organization in particular that we want to work one-on-one with is RHA. We want to establish a partnership with them because we feel that we work towards the same goals all the time in student government and RHA. So, you know, why not put our eggs in one basket and work together, utilize our resources? So that will definitely be something in the long run that could really benefit us.
Yeah, that's going to be a really big one. To continue on, one of the other things we're working on, and you know, I've sat on the campus and facilities development, and so we've kind of touched on meeting with the parking services group over there. We're working on a couple of different ideas that we might have for them that just to help kind of, you know, maybe improve parking limit times and, you know, working with parking, and that's, you know, we try really hard to get areas done with just kind of the limited amount of space that UNK has. You know, as we improve later on with South Campus development, that's something that's kind of more of a long-term project that we're going to be working on. We would also like to reestablish the Government Affairs Committee and just kind of give kind of an overview of this. This committee collaborated with UNL, UNO, and some of the other university organizations, and at least one representative on the Nebraska State legislative session, at least maybe once a semester, just to kind of reach out. And basically this just reflects the student opinion on any government initiatives, and so we really want to bring that back. I think that's going to be a great way to reach out to different students. So we'd also like to continue to recognize the progress and the achievements of our different student organizations. Many student organizations do community outreach, philanthropies, go out, do programs with different universities, represent the university on national scales, and so we'd really like to set up a program that recognizes them monthly and make that public and make that a very big deal to other students, so there's that recognition factor in there. So let's see, you want to touch on?
Yep, I'll take it away. Something that has gotten a big response this year is the proposal of a bike share program. I don't know if everyone's aware, but we did used to have a recycled rides program. So what we want to do is we want to work with organizations like Enactus and RHA who are currently working on this, and we want to help them kind of kick off this bike share program again and get that going so the students can utilize it, because it was something that was really neat. It just had a few glitches in it, so we want to help these organizations and work with them and make sure that we get this, because that could be a really cool resource for the students. Another thing that we want to get going is a 24-hour study space on campus where it's open all hours of the night, because I mean, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes, I mean, I have a midterm tomorrow I have to study for, so I might be up all night, so you know. So if we can have somewhere, like the library hours are limited, so if we could get either a section of the library or a part of the union, or I know that there's like an empty space in University Residence North, if we could have that specifically for a study area 24/7, that would be ideal and utilized by the student body. To kind of go off of that, I know this has been something that's tried to be done in the past. If we could extend the library hours during Dead Week and Finals weeks, that would be absolutely amazing. It might take, you know, some extra staffing or some work studies as far as the library goes, but it's something that we kind of want to look into getting done because we think that it would be utilized.
Yes, it'd be really nice to have that, because I know I have a paper to write later tonight and a bunch of other stuff, so I know that the 24-hour study space as well as the extended hours would be something great that we could get going. One other thing is we like to work on getting some type of on-campus, either DVD rental system or like a Redbox type of deal. There's a lot of logistics that go into planning something along those lines, but as far as a convenience factor and just making UNK kind of the students can stay on campus and it's just there for them rather than having to drive out to Walgreens or drive out to Walmart or something. There's something on campus that students can access relatively easy and have access to. It's to some of the students that I've talked to one-on-one, it's a pretty popular idea. So working the logistics out is going to be something that we'll be able to do or hopefully be able to accomplish here in the upcoming years. So to touch on sustainability.
Yes, our last thing that we have laid out in writing is we want to increase sustainability and environmental focus at UNK. So with that, we want to add more recycling stations in the union, because right now there aren't any, and in some of the academic buildings, if you're walking around with a plastic bottle, you don't want to just throw it away. And so we don't always have a recycling bin accessible in all of those buildings. So we want to get that put into motion, add some aluminum, some cardboard recycling places on campus, because, I don't know about you guys, but I don't know where to recycle my cardboard. So get that going. And then also another aspect of the sustainability is we want to add more of the refillable water bottle stations. They're called hydration stations on campus. Right now we have 2 of them. We have one in Manter and one in CTW, but they can only be utilized by people that live there. So what we want to do is we want to get more of them on campus, put them in the academic buildings and the health and sports center.
Yep.
And the library, so that they can be utilized by more people. And it's cool, they put filtered water in there and then it tells you how many plastic water bottles you've saved when you use it. So other campuses have been really utilizing those, and I think that we could really benefit from it as well.
Absolutely, and that's going to go huge to the sustainability.
So that's kind of like our platform right now, but it is, a work in progress. So we want your feedback. If you guys have other ideas for us, we'd love to hear them. It's not set in stone. We want to do what you guys want us to do. So that's that.
That's our platform. I guess we'll open it up to questions.
Great, I just had a few questions. You kind of touched base on some of them, so I'll just skip over those. But if you had to prioritize one project or area of development stated in your platform, what would be your number 1 priority, and why do you believe that it is the top?
Do you want us to each individually answer that, or would you like just one
Yeah,
answer?
you can.
Okay, go for it.
I think the one thing that I would really like to see us push is student organization collaboration and just organization partnerships with organizations that might have overlapping interests. So prime example would be the partnership with RHA. Working on sustainability stuff, working on the Recycle Rights program, instead of, retracing each other's steps, why not work together and make big steps forward, collaborating ideas, working together, putting together programs that are going to benefit residents. I think that's going to be a huge, and not only doing that, but working with other student organizations to make their organizations succeed, whether that's through advertising, through student government transparency, or working with them to develop funding, just all around working with those people who are wanting to get involved, wanting to give back to the university in some capacity, I think is going to be a big element to our campaign.
Yeah, I'd have to say that the biggest one for me would be to increase transparency. I've been a part of student government for 3 years now, and people ask me, what does student government even do? And so that's not what I want to hear. I want people to know, hey, these are our meetings. Come to our meetings. You're welcome. This is what we're doing. So, even if people aren't coming to our meetings, I want to disseminate the information and what we're doing to the student body. So I think the way that we decided we want to do that is to get a routine bulletin out in the residence halls and put them in the bathroom stalls to just be like, hey, this is what we're doing. We're putting all this work in, and so I feel like people should know about it. So if they have an opinion, they can get involved, and they can be more involved in their student experience at UNK. So.
And then kind of going off what both of you said, I have 2 questions actually. How do you plan on merging your involvement with other organizations? Like, I know that you stated that you wanted to merge them, but how exactly are you going to go about doing that?
What we want to do is we want people like an RHA representative at our cabinet so we can know what each other are working on and we can be fully informed. Or we will have somebody from our cabinet go to all of their meetings and then report back to us and like, this is what RHA is doing, this is what they are working on. We also are working on this, so how can we both work together to do it? And I know that I saw this need, so I asked somebody in my committee now from RHA, the sustainability chair of RHA, comes to the Facilities and Campus Development Committee meetings, and we work on making these decisions together. So it's helped a lot, and I think that, you know, we can see more improvement from it. So just working together with designated people is how you get it done.
Definitely setting up main points of contact, like she was saying. I think as long as communication's there, I think that's the big thing, is just improving that overall channel and making sure that it's standardized throughout. And I think that's going to be vital to the success of that objective. So.
And then how has your involvement in student government prepared you for this position?
Okay, well I think I touched on that a little bit. Like I said, I've been in student government since my freshman year, so I've seen 3 different student body presidents and kind of like how they ran things and how they prioritize things. And so I think I've seen, you know, things that have worked and some things that haven't worked so well. So, I think I have a pretty good idea of what's expected of me and everything. And from what I can tell, I think I will do a good job. So, yeah.
I'd have to just, my experience is a little bit more limited than Connor's. I was appointed in the spring, but I've known several past student senators as well as several executive cabinet members from the past few administrations and have talked to them about different things. And, you know, I've always wanted to get involved with student government. It's just been kind of, you know, this is kind of the timing for everything has fallen right into place, and this is a huge opportunity. And one thing I'm a big proponent of is giving back to the organizations or to the university that has given me, you know, a degree program. I've had several full-time internship opportunities that are going to make me better later on down the road, and so being able to contribute to the further success of that organization and then the university as a whole is just something that you know, I'm really excited about, and that's why I'm passionate about this position and looking forward to the upcoming year. So.
And I guess I will add, I was a committee chair my sophomore year and this year my junior year, so that has helped me establish relationships with people higher up on campus that I normally probably wouldn't interact with. So, and I think it kind of opened my eyes to what this position could hold. So I think it kind of was like a stair step leading me here. My experience is like a backbone I can fall onto if I have problems or questions. And like I have established a really good relationship with Tim back there. So I know that I can go to him with any questions or anything like that. So.
And I guess I just have one more. How would you mold the existing structure to be your ideal student government?
Well, I think that we have the opportunity to do that. Being in charge of student government, we have the opportunity to make our own cabinet and kind of assign people to positions and structure it the way that we think will be most conducive. So, I mean, we still have to figure out all the details because it's been kind of a whirlwind with this campaigning and everything, but I mean, we have a pretty good idea of what we want to do, and I think it'll be effective.
I think a lot of it's, you know, looking at, you know, as you get people who you have interest in, you know, being cabinet, finding the right niche for them, you know, being able to look at their skill set as far as what they bring to the table, and then putting them in the role, building them up for success is really going to be great. It's going to be something that we're going to look at, especially when we start building our cabinet up.
And not only with our cabinet, but with the other branches, the Senate and the student court, we want to be involved in all of them. So just being present and knowing what's going on in all aspects of it, I think that's really important for us to do as well. So we're willing to put the time and the effort, and I think we're ready to go. We're ready to get started. So.
Absolutely.
Right, I guess we'll open the floor up to questions if anybody has any.
And if somebody does have a question that's online or anything, you can tweet at us, you can like our page on Facebook, it's at Schulte McKelvey, or you can just type in our names in the Wilbur mail system and email us. We'd be happy to address any questions that you have.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for hosting this. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for coming out.